Hi everybody, my name is Katja and I'm Cat Coloring. Welcome to my channel. You may already have seen my flip through of my completed Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, but I also wanted to do a version of this video where I talk and explain what I have done in this book. So if you want to see it without any talking and just want to look at the pictures, listen to some music, then you can watch the quick flip through of the completed book on my channel. If you want to hear my explanations on how I did and what art mediums I have used, then you will have to watch this video. So this is the Danish version of Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, Ivy or blæksommerfuglen. And I got it some years ago, and this was my first coloring book that I have completed using coloring pencils. You may have seen the other completed books by Johanna Basford up on my channel, and they are all done in felt tip pens from Staedtler. But this is the first one I have completed with coloring pencils, and the coloring pencils I used for this entire book are the Faber-Castell Polychromos. They were my first sort of professional coloring pencils, artist coloring pencils that I got. Before that I had the Staedtler Ergosoft, and I had some cheap normal coloring pencils from Staedtler and from Faber-Castell. But then I don't know, I think I heard about the Polychromos, and then I discovered that they were available and that they were on sale from Pen Store. And then I bought the 60 set from Pen Store, and then during the years I have bought the rest of the set, so I have all 120 pencils, but 60 of them are bought from open stock actually. So you can see here, it's also sort of an insight into my coloring journey, because when I started here I had only learned something about highlights. You can see I've tried to make highlights in these rubies, and this book is filled with crystals and rubies and emeralds and diamonds, so it's actually quite a hard task if you haven't colored something like that. So in the beginning of the book I actually used a lot of time trying to make some highlights. I also used white Posca and gel pen to make some little dots and highlights here and there, and didn't color completely out to the edges. So you can see here I have also, I am trying to experiment with some gradients here with the colors, and I actually never cover the entire truth of the paper. It's only light layers, and usually just 1 or 2 layers here in the beginning of the book. And I have done all of the pages as they come in the book, so when we reach the ending of the book, my coloring style is somewhat different. It took me a couple of years to color this book, because there were periods of times where I just, laid it to the side and decided not to color in it, and then I picked it out again. And this page I am actually particularly proud of, I have to say. This is my first big page in this book that I completed. This is just the intro page and the name page here, and there's not much here, but this is the first big page that I colored. I had tried to do sort of some, not a bouquet background, but some highlights here around the stars. I added a lot of more stars, so besides Polychromos, I also used a lot of glitter gel pens and metallic pencils from, or metallic pens, I think it was from Sakura. The jelly rolls, different sorts. I also used Tri-Plus fine liners from Staedtler to add some details to the flowers, particularly. Johanna always draws little dots in her flowers, and I have always used some sort of, fine liners or something else to enhance these dots in the flowers, to make some sort of a, to make it stand out, to also make some sort of, not shadow, but, to make it stand out anyway. So I really like this page, and I quickly, because I also read the story, so I quickly found out that I wanted her to have dark hair, a red dress with light green leaves on it, And these flowers down here are sort of the flowers that follow ivy along in the story. And I chose ivory as the color to follow her along. And also Hooker's green to be the green color to follow her. So she looks actually the same all through the story, with the colors on her dress and blue eyes, and then the dark brown hair. I think it was Van Dyke brown I used, or walnut brown, and then some highlights also in her hair. And then we have this page that I also am a bit proud of because of the strawberries here. You can also see I really have tried to experiment with the coloring pencils here, both with the leaves and the flowers, to create highlights, use some glitter gel pens to add some details here. But I don't shadow yet. It actually took me a lot of time before I began using shadings and shadows. You can also see here on this page, this is one of the messier pages in this book. I found that these pages were hard for me to color because there were so many things, and I needed to use so many different colors. I didn't think about using perhaps one or two colors, you know, a monochromatic approach to these pages. Perhaps that would have actually been better and worked out better. You can see here no shadows at all in this. Down here on the ground, I tried to play a little with the background on the pages, usually with a color, and then make the text stand out. This was a double page that took forever, and I mean forever. It took me several weeks to color this because there are so many details, so many things that need to be colored, and then also the background. And I quickly chose I think it's called the coral from the polychromas, because it says in the book that the room was pink of some sort. And also the butterfly here later on. You can see here with the drawers. I mean, it took forever, but still I have tried down here to add a darker color of ochre brown here, to add some shadows, but you can see it's in a beginner stage, so I'm not actually very good at it at this point. I also quickly chose some of the same colors for the books here. You know, brown and dark blue and dark red and some sort of dark greens. It made it easier to color the books. And the frames here, there are so many frames in this book, so I also quickly chose that either I had to do it in some yellow, golden colors, perhaps with some orange and red, or otherwise the ochre colors and Naples yellow. And this is a butterfly, and I don't know if you can see it, but I actually added some gold metallic here around the edges. Tried to make some sort of pattern, because it says so in the book that there was its wing pattern was a mosaic of blinding colors, and there was the edge of some golden pattern here. So, and then I just continued, you know, with these pages to use these colors for the frames. I also used a lot of black to color the black ink stains throughout the book here. This was also one of those pages where I decided to color the background to the text, but not to cover the text completely. And I have seen so many other drawings of this page, and I actually regret a little bit of what I did to this page. If I could do it again, I actually would change that page. This one, however, I really like, because this is where Ivy opens the door and she sees this tunnel with the green leaves and the sun coming down through all of this green. So I tried to make some lighter yellowish spots here and make the rest of it green. And this field of flowers, I am actually really proud of. I like my dahlias here, how I have tried to show the different colors these flowers can have. This again was a page that took forever to make. And I colored all of this pattern on the door green, and then I colored on top of it with a yellow, no, not a yellow, a gold metallic pen to make it look like this sort of gold pattern on the door. And then again, she lived in a pink house, so of course the bricks and everything had to be sort of pink in the color. And there are many, many flowers, especially bellflowers in this book, and I love to color them. This one, I found some inspiration from videos on YouTube as to how to color these. So I colored, I think, this one, and perhaps this one from this video. I can't remember if it was a Christian video, perhaps it was. Johanna also made her own videos how to color different things in ivy, and also watch them and try to do it. I remember that I actually did it with this bumblebee here. That was from one of Johanna's own videos that I used as my inspiration for coloring this. I actually just followed this. So coloring pencils and then these fine liners to do the details of this sort of, I don't know if you can call it fur in a bumblebee, but you know, to color the details here. But the rest here I colored from this page. And I'm playing here with the colors, trying to do, you know, gradients between and blending here, trying to make it work. And on this page, it actually worked. I'm really pleased with these pages, and I actually used this for my Instagram account, this page, because I really like it so much. I like the golden orange colors in these flowers and the way I did these. I can't remember what they're called in English, this flower. And I also like the frames very much. I think that these Naples yellow and the light ochres and ochre colors are very good to do the frameworks here in this book. And, you know, pink flowers, they are always such a hit. And I also enjoyed making this page with all of these sort of, I think it's cherry flowers. But I also found it difficult when you only have coloring pencils to do the entire background. So I tried to limit myself with the background. Also tried to experiment with the light coming out here. Not that successful compared to what I have done later. This was also a very difficult page to color because there's so many details in her thoughts here. And then we have the little house mouse here. And I also colored with coloring pencils and then fine liners on top to make it look like fur here. And pages like this, they were easy to color because it was just flowers. Flowers and frames. And then with the water here, you can see I have added several highlights in the water. So I actually did a lot of highlights when I began. And this one I also enjoyed making. I really, really love double pages, but it really takes forever to color them. And I also had trouble finding colors to use in this sort of sea town, these houses on raised above the water. So it was not easy to color this one. And then again, one of these, I call it the messy pages, pages with so many details. And my best approach to these are simply to begin with the coins. And then when I had colored all of the coins, I went to the diamonds, colored them. I went to the pearls and necklaces, colored them. Then I took the spoons and so on, because otherwise it was really, really complicated to color this page. You can see I still use several highlights, and I actually, if you can see here, uses white gel pens to make some sort of extra shine to both the coins and these sort of diamonds here. This one again difficult with the background, only with coloring pencils. Later on, I got my pastel chalks, and I'm really happy to use them to do backgrounds. I think it's so much easier, and then you can always add a little bit of coloring pencils to them. But here you can see I have actually had from, I think it was from this page to this page, I had a break, and then here again a break, because now I actually color more powerful. You can see here that I cover much more of the paper, and the colors sort of stand out much more. Don't use that many highlights down here. I've actually given up highlights here in the water, but I have then colored the dots here with darker colors in metallic pencils, but I still have some highlights over here. And you can see I am still using highlights in the jewels here. And there were just so many jewels all of the time. And this one I'm also quite proud of, because I looked at a picture of this bird and tried to mix the black and dark gray colors to make you, so you can see it's dark here, but it's not all black. It's also, I think it was Payne's gray and the dark cool gray 6 and the warm gray 6 also I use to create different gradients of black and dark feathers here, and then the blue and green here, and then some more grayish whitish colors down here. So I really think that that worked out. And this page also took forever with the entire background, you know, a wooden background here in his tree hut, and all of the jewelry and all of the details and furniture. This also took several weeks for me to color. And then again, one of these pages with all of these little things. I've actually used some glitter gel pens here to make it a bit easier for myself. I also used a lot of silver pencil for the spoons. Again, so many details with this one, but you can see I am actually beginning to color so that it covers the paper completely. And now I have also had some sort of a break, because then you can see a change here in these little mushroom houses for the elves. You can see here that I have created much more shadowing and dark colors here, where the sort of houses shadow for each other. You can clearly see that I'm working with lighter colors and then darker colors here. And this actually continues also with the flowers here. You can clearly see that I am trying to work with my dimension of with the shadows to create some sort of effect here. I also continue here. You can see here I've used a much darker color to create some shadow where all of these things are on the table. Also here with the flowers, darker blue and lighter blue colors here. So I have sort of left the highlights and am experimenting more with shadows, shading, and other ways to do the coloring here. This page was a real pain to do because I don't like insects and I usually don't color these pages, but then I sat down one day and thought, well, I had to get this over, so I also used some glitter gel pens for some of these and tried to to color some in the same colors, to identify, say, this is the same as this one. It made it easier for me to color. You can also see much here, up here with the shading, and down here with the door. Still some highlights here with the crown. And still working on the fur with house mouse. I'm not satisfied with this one, but that was what I was capable of doing back then, some years ago. Trying to do some sort of, well, I think it's actually some sort of version of a bouquet background. Not very good, actually. This one I'm particularly proud of because it says it is a crystal chandelier, so I used a white glitter gel pen and a silver glitter gel pen to do the entire chandelier here, and it also took forever. Gel pens are not the easiest pens to work with. Also like the way that I did with the light here from the candles. I really like this page. And this also took forever, and this I am also very proud of, the way I have tried to create shadows on the wall here with all of these sort of, I don't know what they are called, blankets or whatever, hanging down from the wall, with the chest here and the paintings and all of these things on the table. Still highlights in all of these jewelry. So I think that this double page is very successful. I'm really proud of this double page, the way I did it. And then we have the Dragon Queen, and you can see here the butterflies, a little light to make sure that you can see them, flames. I probably should have done some more from the flames with light and shadow on her, but I simply wasn't capable of doing that at this time in my coloring career. You can also see this one with light down the middle. This one I really also enjoyed making, just coloring all of these butterflies. And then here I actually colored all of the butterflies in very beautiful colors, and then I covered them with a dark gray color to make them look like the butterflies. They are filled with, I think it's called soot, from all of these flames that the dragon has spewed, so they are very dirty, all of these butterflies, and that's why you can't see all of their beautiful colors. Also on this page. And then Ivy, after she's finished longing for her home, she cleans up the butterflies, and then suddenly we have all of these beautiful, colorful butterflies that surrounds the dragons, because Ivy has, and House Mouse has, they have cleaned them completely. And then it's time for Ivy to come home. And this part of the book, I also had a break from the coloring here and here. So this is the last part of the book, and I think there was a span of half a year, 6 months or so, between this and these pages here. You can clearly see that again, much more with shadowing, shading, still some highlights. Also here with the Queen, and then much more color, colorful backgrounds here, darker colors, until Ivy gets home and says farewell. And then we have the two butterflies here, and this also had to have some sort of gold here, gold glitter gel pen in its wings, like this one. And then it was just a matter of, and I remember when I reached these pages, I just colored them. I was really tired of coloring in this book, and I just wanted it to be finished, because I wanted to be able to color in other books, and I sort of felt that I had to finish this one before I could move on to other coloring books. Well, that was Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you will like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. More coloring coming up on my channel. Hopefully Stjernfall by Maria Trolle in about a month. So, until the next time, have a very nice day. Happy coloring. Bye.